A very good morning to everybody. This is the first day of our first season of the presentations. And this is a batch who got admission in 2021 and they will get passed out in 3. First semester, first season of your presentation, we are beginning from today. And as a kind of a system that we have, let me share a few things about that. Let me take your presentations in Google Classroom. You will be evaluated based on the rubric here, which you all might have gone through, the rubric on which you will be evaluated by the teacher. Teacher will evaluate you on this rubric. You also are supposed to evaluate yourself and your friends, your classmates, based on this rubric. And for that, you are going to use this link here. This link you are going to use the online evaluation of your classmate that you are going to do here. So we will have a peer evaluation, self-evaluation, and teacher slot. In this slot, we are going to have presentations by this. This slot is about. Yeah, let me. Yes. Yeah, online is breaking. Yeah, there's a little bit slow net here in my system is a little bit slow. I think it will get stable within few minutes. Yeah. Okay, so in this slot, we are going to have presentations by Aamena, Bhavna, Dhvani, Divya, Parmar, Divya, Sheta, Emisha, Himanshi, Hinaba, Hirva, and Janvi. This 11 students are going to make presentations in this, and they are going to make presentations on the Renaissance and the Restoration literature. Aamena will speak on Pamela and will compare with some of the Bollywood movies. Bhavna on Thomas Gray, the poet. Dhvani on A Tale of a Tub, symbols in that work. Dhvani on Pamela comparison with Premchand's Nirmala. Divya Parmar will speak on Tale of a Tub as a satire. Divya Sheta on character analysis of Pamela. Okay, yes, this is okay. Yeah, this is yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry, that was about neoclassical literature. Tomorrow's topic there. Okay. Today, Aamena will speak on "Death Be Not Proud," a poem. Okay. Bhavna will speak on to his poem Mistress, Andrew Marvell's poem, Metaphysical Poets. Yeah. Dhvani will speak on Macbeth as tragedy of human and humanity in Shakespeare, with reference to Macbeth. Divya Parmar on prostitute culture, shown in Aphra Behn's The Rover. Divya Sheta on the constitution of Theocracy in Absalom and Achitophel. Emisha on character of Banquo in Shakespeare's Macbeth. And Himanshi will speak on various themes in Macbeth. Hinaba on symbols in Macbeth. Hirva on metaphysical poetry. Janvi on Absalom and Achitophel. So these are the topics from Renaissance and Restoration literature, which we are going to have today as part of the presentation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Before we start the things, we'll also have a look. Yeah, there is a little bit of slow network here in my system, so perhaps some voice or screen may perhaps be breaking in between. Yeah, okay. I will get stable within few minutes. Okay, so before we start for today's work, we will have a look at the classroom setup for this and how all the students are ready for their presentation. That also we will have a look here. So we have this setup here of all the students in this classroom, in this lab, and they are ready presentation for listening. And from here the speaker will make the presentation. The podium here, the students will be listening, evaluating the group from here, and also there who will be attending in an online mode. We have divided into two groups all the students. So the other group also might attend the things from in an online mode to see how the things are going on and how other students are presenting. That also they can have a look from by attending online from their homes or from wherever they are. So this is how the things are arranged for the 5 days of the presentation season here. And we are going to start with the first presenter. Aamena is ready, and yes, Aamena, now you can unmute yourself and you can start by sharing your screen.
Good morning, everyone. Respected sir and my dear friends. Today I am going to say on Death Not to be Proud of, written by John Donne. Death Not to be Proud of. It is written by John Donne, and John Donne was an English poet, scholar, soldier, and secretary born on 22 January 1572, London, UK, into a Roman Catholic family. John Donne was a leading English poet of Metaphysical School and dean at St. Paul's Cathedral, London. Died on 31st March 1631, London, UK. About poem Death Not to be Proud of. This poem is a part of a holy sonnet, which is a series of 19 poems written by Donne that the center of his religious belief and ideas. The poem follows the structure of patriarchal sonnet, which has 14 lines divided into an 8-line stanza and a 6-line stanza. This is the poem. How is death? Yes. How is Death Be Not Proud a metaphysical poem? Death Be Not Proud is primarily a metaphysical poem because it deeply thinks on the relation between the body and the soul that asserts that death is defeated in an afterlife. This is the analysis of poem. Rest and death are like in this poem, the writer is telling that we should not fear of death. After death, our life is more peaceful. He treats death as a person. Person are mistaken in treating death as some fearsome being that thinks that he has the power to kill people, but he actually doesn't. Speakers start to show his pity by addressing poor death, but it seems ridiculous to say that death doesn't kill people. Rest and death are painting of an object that gives us pleasure. Death is a real object, so it gives us moral pleasure. Comparing of death to sleep means eternal rest. Death doesn't decide when people will die. He carries out order of faith. Death is something pleasurable. Death is not something weak, it's pleasurable. In this poem, the writer says that we should not fear of death. Death is something that we should be happy, means it is a great victory. With the final lines, the writer is saying that the people who experience death do not come back to earth. The speaker reveals his reason for claiming that death is weak and easily overcome. He claims that death is only one short sleep, and those who experience death wake eternally. The speaker has not only told that he has not real power over anyone, but that he will experience the end of himself, and all wake in eternal, and death will no more. Conclusion. Here I've given the two pictures. One is of a graveyard, and one is that someone has achieved a great thing. So therefore, this should not be the picture we have of death. We should think death as a trumpet, great victory over death itself. Thank you.
Yes, questions to her. Yeah, you can stop sharing the screen now.
Yes, Aamena. What is patriarch sonnet?
In Patriarch Sonnet, it is a Italian poet's right, and it has 14 lines, and in that rhyme, ABB is that rhyming scheme in Patriarch Sonnet.
Yes, Dhruvita, you have to ask questions, so you can ask question now. Dhruvita, are you listening?
Yes, sir, but network issues.
Yes. You have to ask, so you can, we allow you to attend online, but then online also you have to do everything according to system. So that's why sometimes you have to stop having people to give this liberty. You have to be sincere whether you are here or online.
No, sir, here is network issue
If you are
too much.
given, yes, Dhruvita.
I attend online lectures, but
Okay, so now
due
you
to
can.
network issue, I can't listen Aamena as well.
Okay, so next presenter now. Who is the next one? Yes. Unmute and then next presenter. Come in the center. Put a little bit down the camera. So. White part you touch and bring a little bit down. The top part, top part. Okay, you can start. speak something before and then share the screen. Whatever is your topic, then you can speak orally first and then start
Yes,
sharing the
good
screen.
morning, all of you. Restoration, Renaissance literature in Unit 4, Metaphysical Poetry, and then my topic is To His Coy Mistress by Andrew Marvell.
I think the mic also is muted. Yeah, unmute your mic also. Open in Google Slide from classroom. Have you opened in Google Slides? So then I think you have prepared in Google Slide that PPT. No? Yes. So then start sharing. That the option will be start sharing. Play the presentation. Yes. Now start slideshow. Click on start slideshow. There is that button there. It is written already. Yes. Start slideshow. There is download, save try, start slideshow, print to PDF. See, start slideshow. Those who are using PPT, this PowerPoint, you see this. This feature will come in PowerPoint. Start slideshow is written. Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Now it is full screen. Okay.
Okay, Andrew Marvell. He's born 1621 and died 1678. Andrew Marvell was an English metaphysical poet, satirist, parliamentarian, and he's popularly known for his lyrics, in which he has shown his great gifts of admirable skill, charm, and grace. As a metaphysical poet, he is associated with John Donne and George Herbert. He was a colleague and a friend of John Milton. The tone of his poem is bright, humorous, tolerant, and civilized. To his co-mistress. Meaning of the poem. In fiction, the last full desire of a man attempting to entice female virgin, the mistress, into sexual intimacy. The poem is a tour de force and has come to be known as a seduction poem or a carpe diem. Famous poem of Andrew Marvell written around 1650s, published in 1681 after poet's death. 46 lines, 3 stanzas. Rhyming scheme is couplets. Unknown speaker tries to persuade his co-mistress of for a physical relationship moment of Indian Ganga River and biblical stories in the end. No mention of his appeals, whether mistress agree upon or not. Structure of the poem. This poem is a dramatic monologue. To his co-mistress is structured as a one stanza poem, but for easy understanding, it can be divided into 3 different stanzas. Stanza 1, lines 1 to 20. Stanza 2, lines 21 to 32. Then stanza 3, 33 to 46 lines. Title Koi. What is koi means? Means shy or modest. Mistress means a woman with authority or a woman involved in a romantic. The setting. The setting of to his co-mistress is broadly speaking the earth. Then to his co-mistress is structured as a stanza poem, but into 3 different standards. The speaker. The speaker is anonymous. He could be any man, anywhere. He's an intense guy. He spends the poem trying to convince his mistress that she should have love with him. Short summary. The speaker of the poem is the man who talks to a woman and who is hesitant in love. The accuses the shyness of his lady love because they don't have more time. The man says time is short and death. He's approaching, so it is better for the woman and engage in love before take her. Virginity gets buried. She is too shy. His desire will also turn to ashes. So now is the time for love. They cannot stop the sun in any case, but by their love they can make time fly. Themes. The rush of time. The main theme of To His Co-Mistress is a transcendence of the life expressed through a sense of time puring us and propelling us into the grave before we have achieved fulfillment. Carpe diem. Above all, the poem to his co-mistress calls upon seizing the day. It negates all the nations of poisonous and honor. It stresses the point that nothing is better than to enjoy the present moment. The future is uncertain and the afterlife is black. The brevity of youth. The speaker emphasized that the age of youth, passion, and beauty is short. The poet further portrays time as an antagonist between the lover and the beloved. It is always there to wash their youthful vigor away. Time never waits for the lovers. It flows away in its way. Lovers should not wait for the future as time never waits for them. So, thank you.
Okay, you can stop presenting now. And let us take, yes, stop presenting. Okay, yes, now let us take the questions. Who is asking questions?
Hello, Bhavna. I am audible.
Yes. Just a minute. Yes, you can speak your question. I will repeat the question here.
What is meaning of mistress?
Her question is, what is the meaning of distress? She has asked, what is the meaning of distress?
Sorry.
You don't know?
No, sir.
Then next time you have to see this. That title is there, then that meaning should be very clear. That what is the meaning? Have you not watched all videos?
No, sir.
Then was it not explained in the videos?
No, sir. No,
It was
sir.
not explained. The title was not explained.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so okay, next question. Yeah.
Will you just tell me something about
Mute that. There you mute that you are asking. બધું શીખી લો 4 દિવસમાં બધું શીખવાનું મોકો મળશે ત્યાં મ્યુટ કેમ કરવું લેપટોપ નો કેમ કરવો all these experience મ્યુટ નથી થયું બરાબર anybody can help from here આજે મદદ કરશે પહેલા દિવસે પછી બીજા દિવસે રાતે કરવાનું
Will you just tell me something about theme or the names of the theme?
come with the focus camera there
Yeah, sorry, sir.
from the center from the focus when you answer you have to unmute ક્લાસમાં આપણે જે કરતા હોય ત્યારે જોતા હોય કે આ બધા શું કરે છે આવડી ગયું નાઉ મ્યુટ હિયર પ્રશ્ન પૂછી તો તમારે મ્યુટ કરવા now unmute yourself હજી અનમ્યુટ નથી થયું નીચે માઇક છે એ લાલ કલર નું હશે તો મ્યુટ છે
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That is three things. First, the rush of time, then carpe diem, and the brevity of youth.
Okay, you can sit. Okay, so Dhruvita is coming on the way. So when she will reach here, we will take her presentation. And now is Dhvani. Yes. Okay, let me change this if you. You can keep it muted only there. Okay, so your voice, you don't have to speak anything. Yeah. Okay, so no, not slides. No, you just have to click in Google Classroom and open it, and you have to open your presentation. Right now, don't share the screen. First, you have to do the mind, then you share the screen. If you want to give any introduction, you want to? Okay, so we'll start there.
You guys know the mind, right? We don't speak anything, but we show something by the hand or which is of the facial expressions. You know the character, the lady Macbeth, famous character. Wait.
You unmute.
Window or tab? So, okay. Is it visible? Okay, so as you know, this is the very famous character of Macbeth play, the Lady Macbeth, who is completely in guilt and remorse. So I'm Dhvani Rajyaguru, roll number 4. My topic of today's presentation is humanity and human nature in Shakespeare's very well-known tragedy, Macbeth. Shakespeare is one of the person that we yeah. Okay, so Shakespeare is not one of the but the greatest person of all time, which we study in all the English literature, like in the globally. But why is he so much famous like that? As Ben Jonson said that Shakespeare is not just for one time or and for age, but he is for all the time, because he has the power of capturing the emotions, the human nature, the psychology of people. In the Elizabethan age, we can connect, the people of the Elizabethan age can connect their self with the Macbeth. In the 16th or the 17th century Victorian era, or in the 21st century, we can still connect ourselves with the Macbeth. Why? Because we are living in the ambition, we are living with the fear, we are living with the remorse. So this is my presentation is all about the human nature and humanity in Macbeth. So before that, I will throw the light on the Shakespeare's early life and the literary works. So he was born on April 26th and in the England, and died in the April 23, 1616 in the England also. He is a well-known English poet, dramatist, and actor, often called as the English national poet and considered by many to be the greatest dramatist of all the time. His father's name is John Shakespeare. He was trader in leather, corn, wheat, and other agriculture products. And his mother, named Mary Arden, she's the daughter of a rich family, but his parents are uneducated. He went to grammar school and learned Latin and Greek in his village. In the 1587, he went to the Globe Theatre in London. While he wrote the many dramas or many poems, his village influenced his dramas a lot. He wrote 17 plays in the field of comedy, 10 in the field of history, 10 in the field of tragedy, and moreover, he has 5 long narrative poems and then the 154 sonnets. Now, his plays are deeply moral and deal with human beings' ethical and moral responsibility of their action. Some unknown facts about the play Macbeth. Macbeth was loosely based on the real king, the king named Macbeth. He was the king of Scotland in the 18th century. So this Macbeth play is very much related to the king of Scotland, but some things are changed in the play. It is relatively short Shakespearean play. It was around 17,121 words, and this is one of the shortest play of the Shakespeare, and it is around half of the Hamlet. And it was first published in after the 7 years death of Shakespeare. It was first performed in 1606, but then it was published after the Shakespeare's death. And King James, who liked the witches very much. So this is a very big influence on the King James, because in the play the witches are added to please James, who had a long fascination with witchcraft and published a book on the subject called Demonologia. Now we know the summary of the Macbeth, so I will not go through that. But if I conclude in the one-page summary, three witches tell Macbeth that he will become king. Then Macbeth tells to Lady Macbeth. The Lady Macbeth tells Macbeth to King Banquo, the king. Macbeth do that. Macbeth becomes king. But later, the emotions, the human nature, as we all have, that influenced him a lot. So then he felt guilty. As we know that one lie tend to the another lie. So the one murder tends to the another murder. He was not a monster. He has a man in him, but the ambition, the human nature, human mind make him to be the evil. As a psychology, there are two sides of our mind. As we saw, many of you saw the Tom and Jerry cartoon. When Tom is doing something wrong, the one part of his mind, the small Tom, come and says, no, you don't do this. Then the another good part of the Tom comes and say that you can do it. So there are two sides, and the evil side is known as the ego. In the psychology, it is known as ego, and the goodness, the very good side, that is known as the superego. Ego is connected with the darkest part, and superego is a logical part of the mind. I have taken one picture you can see in the presentation. Id meaning the instance, ego is the reality, and superego is the morality. Conscience versus ambition in Macbeth. Macbeth is a very bravest soldier, but he's constantly fighting with his conscience and the ambition. He experiences range of emotions, including power, ambition, fear, guilt, remorse. Conscience is something that is related with the fear, coordinates, moral goodness, humanity, light, sacrifice, judgment about what is to be done. It is metaphorically connected with biting or associating anything. Ambition, now another part is ambition. Macbeth, he says in the third play act that, oh, full of scorpions in my mind. Now this, he states, he warns audience against this, their harmful animalistic part of mind, which is stands by the ego. His conscience is associated with loyalty. As we seen before, these are the conscience, but his conscience is related with the loyalty, field, and gear. And the another side, the dark thoughts the dark thoughts are coming into his mind. I have taken examples from the play. The good side, the conscience is, will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, this my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine. That means even the sea's water can't wash the blood of my hands. And on the ambition side, I have taken the one quote from the text that I have no prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition. And this is the quote that shows the ambition. Now, emotions of Macbeth, which we are relating with us. I have taken different kind of emotions, different kind of aspects of human mind, And with I have also compared that with the quote. The first quote is, the super mature soliciting can be ill, cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why had it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth, I am than of corder. There is the ambition of being the king. This is the first it is from the first act, and in which he says that which is already gave him the idea, the clue, and now he is already fantasizing that no, I will be the king. And there is another example that, who can be wise, amazed, temperament and furious, loyal, neutral in a moment? No man. It shows the evil side him. He wants to become king, and that then he's ready to do anything. So we all have the ambition, and sometimes we want to do something bad for our ambition. But no, this Macbeth, Shakespeare's Macbeth, stop us. What happened to him? No, I can't do this. The hierarchical, now the another aspect is the hierarchical society. He has the efficiency, he has the quality of king, but if he will not murder anybody, then he won't be king. Because of the hierarchical society, the son of the king will be the king. Whether he has the efficiency or whether he is able to be the king, this is not important. So he is taking revenge for being the king, for revenging the hierarchical society. Even today's time, we connect, if we connect this human nature with us, the we still feel like the lower class and upper class. The hierarchical society is with us even today. Okay, so emotions, another emotions like fear, guilt, remorse and realization. After running behind ambition, after murdering so many people, Banquo or his friend, then he has fear. He is saying it will have blood. They say blood will have blood, stones have been known to move and trees to speak. Bloods will have bloods. This is saying that he has the knowledge of what he is doing. He has the fever. This stating the karmic rule. The how much far we throw the ball, it will eventually come to us. So this fear is shown in this. Then the guilt, which I already told about, that the oceans water cannot wash my hands. And the remorse and realization. At the end of the play, he finally, first he ran behind ambition, then he was feeling guilty, then he is realizing that what he had done. He had remorse, he had self realization, and that is very important, and that makes us believe that he is not monster, but he is man. She should have, you know, this dialogue, this is most famous dialogue: tomorrow, tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this pretty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. Nothing is permanent, everything is empty, everything is unknown, everything will be die. When his wife Lady Macbeth died, then he spoke this dialogue. And now the Lady Macbeth and remorse, I have added some pictures and some memes too. There is a meme, what are you doing, his mind is saying to Lady Macbeth. She is telling, I'm trying to sleep. Then the mind is saying, remember when Dunker was trying to sleep? And she is awake, you can see her eyes, she is not able to sleep. This is also one kind of remorse. You can see, is you did see the emotions and expressions of mind that is constantly saying that Lady Macbeth and Macbeth both are feeling very empty, very regretting. And you can also see the video, Lady Macbeth's remorse video, by clicking this. And these are the aspects that eventually she, after having so much remorse, so much guilt in heart, she died. So this is all about human nature, human mind, and the humanity. I have taken my presentation from these references. These are my references. And I will conclude myself with Shakespeare. Samuel Taylor College said about Shakespeare. Shakespeare knew the human mind and its most minute and intimate workings. He never introduced a word or a thought in vain or out of place. If we do not understand him, it is our own fault. It is not his fault. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, Dhvani. When was the play published?
1606.
Yes, Dhvani. Uh, what do you think about Lady Macbeth in feminist perspective after you explained that human emotions or such things?
Yeah. Uh, I am in her side. She has the feminist view.
Stop listening.
Yeah.
Don't forget every time.
Okay. So I am at her own side. As I told about hierarchy, there is also a patriarchal society. As I said before, she wants her husband to be king, but she's not. Macbeth is not able to be the king because of the hierarchical society. So she's not bad. She become cruel just because of ambition. I already told about the ambition. She also have the ambition, and that is why she become cruel. She also said that I can kill my own son. I can kill my own son. But that this is all for, we can say in Gujarati that majburi. We all know that thing, na? So she's not bad at all. She did just one fault. She has one fault to kill Banquo, but then this thing she struggled whole her life, and then ultimately she died just because of this. And this taught us that uh, go with the ambition, but don't do the bad things. In the 21st century, we can learn that from the Macbeth. Yeah.
Okay, so the next presenter now. Pick something, then share.
Okay. Hello, good morning to all. Today I am going to present a prostitute culture in shown in the Aphra Rover. Okay, let me share. Can I share with the open in Google Slides?
Yes, open Google Slides. Yeah, you cannot see.
It visible?
Only Google Classroom is visible.
Okay.
Google Classroom page is visible. Have you opened your PPT?
Yes, sir.
Why is it not visible? What have you shared? Window, tab, what have,
Tab.
and you see up above there, you will see share this tab now. At the top, you will see this share this
Yes.
tab. Click on that. No, still you are not seeing that. Now it is coming. Yeah, now. Yeah, see near present. That blue button, blue arrow. Open that.
Now it's visible.
Just a minute.
Okay.
Now that tab you have to share. I think. Are you seeing? Share this tab.
No, sir. There is only one option: stop sharing.
Then stop sharing. Do that. Yeah. No, no. This is another stop sharing. Yeah. Share again now. Keep on sharing the new tab that you are sharing. Every time you open a new tab, go at the top and share that tab.
Now it's visible.
Now present. Click present. Now it is visible.
Today I'm going to present prostitute culture in Aphra Ben's Rover. These are the key points of my presentation. Introduction of the Rover, characters, themes, prostitute culture in society at that time, and prostitute culture in this play. Introduction of the Rover. Second name or the title of the this is the Banished Cavaliers. This play is the revision of Thomas Killigree's play Thomso or The Wanderer. This is play published in 24 March 1677. Genre of this work is restoration comedy. Characters and themes. The characters, group of sisters we can find in the work Florinda, Helena, and their cousin Valeria. The group of named Don Pedro, who is the brother of Florinda and Helena. The group and Don Antonio, who is the friend of Don Pedro, and Don Vencentio, who is the character which Florida's father has chosen to marry with Florida. And the group of cavaliers, there were three characters: Blunt, Frederick, and Belleville. The rover and the rover in the work is the Wilmore, and the prostitutes are Angelica and Lucetta. The themes in which shows in the work is love, marriage, sexual desire, and loyalty. In theme of love, we can put characters of Belleville and Florida. In marriage theme, there we can see at that time the Don Pedro, who is the brother of Florinda, tries to convince Florida to marry that person with that person who have enough money or strength to complete his dream, to support his life. And but Florinda, in this work we can see that the Florinda is not think that the only for marriage only thing is money. Also we can see the father of Florinda wants to marry Florinda with his choice Don Vincento, who is also a rich person. Then we have a question: marriage is all about money? Then sexual desire, we can see in the work that all characters are going to visit prostitute houses for only enjoyment. And the loyalty, in love and loyalty, in both themes we can put two characters, Belleville and Florinda. Prostitute culture in society. Effects of the society reflects in literature. We can see that whatever culture is around us, it shows in our literature. Suppose example, in this time we have faces a lots of a problem due cause of a coronavirus, and in latest literature we can see the fear of death, or the disease, fear of disease, it all shows in our literature. So Aphra Behn, as an inspiration for woman in her works, talks about the woman. This Aphra Behn is it became an inspiration for lots of a woman, because at that time women are not allowed in such places. At that time, Aphra Behn becomes a writer. Also, she is an actor of his own play, own work. This shows that she become an inspiration. Those women who want to achieve their dreams, achieve their goals, Aphra Behn become inspiration for them. And in her works, she talks about women. At that time, we see the prostitutes cultures around the society. So in her works, we can see the most description about the woman's beauty. Also, I see one video when Aphra Behn in a Aphra Behn's about talking that one person to talking about Aphra Behn's that she is a play in her own works. That means she has to be a beautiful as well as knowledgeable person. So the beauty is the most important features we can see in that time for the woman. People pursued a woman for enjoyment. People go to the prostitute house for the enjoyment, and they pursue a woman for some time to fulfill their sexual desires. Prostitute culture in Rover. We can see the two characters are prostitute in the Aphra Behn's Rover, Angelica and Lucetta. Here, Angelica is a well-known prostitute in the Naples. She is that person. She can attract anyone at first sight. Restrictions for royal families women. So in that time, there are some certain restrictions for the woman that they can do this or they cannot do this. So if woman attend a party, wants to attend a party, she can dress up and wear a mask and go there. So some works are some places or parties are in that place not allowed a woman, royal family's woman. Also marriage and prostitution. Here we have a work. If the main thing money is in the center of a money, in the center of a marriage, then what is the difference between prostitution and marriage? Marriage in the center of money is the center of in the marriage. We can say the Don Pedro says his sister to marry that person who have enough strength or money to live a life. Then also in difference we can only see that marriage is for permanent. If money is there for you, you can if you married, it is for lifetime. And prostitution, when you give a money, it is for some time. The prostitution as a lower work. At that time, prostitution seems to be a lower work, but in Aphra Behn's work, we can see that prostitution culture is revealed in society. But this is my resources from. I take my presentation from YouTube, LitChat, and bitnica.com. And thank you.
Okay, yes, Divya. My question is about how you agree with these prostitutes, and if that society is in our contemporary time, if that how you changes, how would you like to change this type of society?
Sorry, again.
Okay, in short, how would you like to change this type of society in your perspective about prostitutes or that thing?
Okay, the prostitute culture at that time means at that time men are allowed to go to the in contemporary time we also find a red light houses in our society, so it is still there in now it is present, but it is a choice of a person individually to go to there for fulfill their sexual desires, so it's desire is their personal choice. We cannot make a change a bit of in them.
At that time when Alphabets wrote this, for marriage, the money was the which feature was strong, money or the sexuality?
Money for girls, when we see don't in this work, Don Pedro also wants to marry with Angelica. He likes Angelica, but for her sister, for his sister, his opinion is what? To marry with that guy who have enough money. So at that time, money was the first point. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. The next presenter can come now. Yes.
Very good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, good morning, everyone. Dhvani just said about emotions. Uh, Same as I feel like of this first presentation, fear that we all faced about this fear. Okay, today in this restoration literature, that my topic is about the constitution of theocracy in Absalom and Achitophel. My central thing is that to clear about what is theocracy, rather than in Absalom and Achitophel. Generally, we all know that about allegorical character and historical context in what Dryden put on this epic poem. That about political and religion things, and about divine of God, and like a lawful God. This is my content list of this presentation, and first thing is that what is theocracy. That this is very interesting definition by Merriam-Webster, that a system of government in which a religious body holds ultimate power. This is the very interesting definition. This I would like to say it modern definition, because on that time, Dryden put not government but God. That people of that society, people thinks that God make the king of us. God chooses the person who the future king of our region. This is the picture that one priest told that people that you vote, God decided. You just, your work is that you vote, and God will decide it that who are government and who will be the king of your this throne. I'm sorry for that. Its video is not working. Where theocracy in a poem. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir, it's not off. Okay. Where theocracy in a poem. That when I was search out about theocracy, I just search in Google that most ofly the definition of some dictionary or that, but just only one article that I search out, that satire and the constitution of theocracy and Absalom and Achitophel by N. Crook, that she tried to define that theocracy in poem, that we come down at the last part of the poem, that about the last speech of David, that he somewhere he introduced himself, that he chosen by God, and he also anti-Catholic Heston. He tried to say that some authorities who decided that who will our king. He also said that after heaven's own heart, that he tried to say that God chooses him already after his death. He already he will be the king of this throne. On that conclusion part, that Dryden also put rhymed couplets, that he tried to say that what is satire, that satire is the amendment of vices by correction. So this is my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, so can I ask the question?
Yes.
Okay, how would you like to explain the democracy in more easier words? How would you like to explain the democracy in more easier words?
Okay, so in this perspective, in this poem perspective, or the general,
General idea.
okay, democracy. Democracy, what is totally opposite from this theocracy? That what we understand, that theocracy, that God choose God choose that divine soul for us, while in this contemporary time, somewhere politics is running out, that for example, that one leader is choose his some pointed people, that yes, these five people is only in my region. I'm not included the another new, I'm not included new coming in my region, in my area. So democracy is totally opposite, that in democracy, people are free to choose his their king, their government. But in theocracy, there is not possible, because in theocracy there is no one leader who is God, who is chooses that who is king in that particular region or that thing. Okay, theocracy. That on my perspective, that somewhere politics is very on high level on theocracy. That Dryden put we all know that Dryden is completely admire to the King Charles II in historical context, we can see. But theocracy is obviously take politics. My main focus is that politics. That why Dryden try to appreciate that king, because he is already he was on politics. That theocracy is some some things that particular people are chosen by God, and that I hope my answer is reliable.
Yes, next presenter.
Okay, my name is Emisha Ravani, and as we are organized the presentation for our first paper, Literature of Renaissance, and today I am going to present character of the Banquo from the Shakespeare's Macbeth.
Save that tab again.
My presentation is not showing there.
No, are you in the Google
Yes.
class? There you find your presentation. Is it?
Yes.
It is there.
Please come. From you?
Yes, from here. What is your name? You turned in, right? Okay.
Yes.
Is it showing now?
Yes. For full screen.
Go here and share your. First go there.
Yeah.
Open with Google Slides then.
It is showing so. Then tab.
Where is?
Where is your presentation? Science document from. Wait. What's your presentation name?
Banquo. Character of Banquo.
So just a minute. Okay, here it is. Is it yours?
No.
What the hell? That did we? Okay, this is right.
Now is it visible?
No, it's not here.
The first open there and then share the screen. First open, make it full screen there, then come to
This.
the meet and share.
This.
Sir, we've opened in the classroom, but it is not showing in the tab.
At the top, you will find open with Google Slides. You have to move cursor there. If it is open in Google Slide, if you will move cursor, then you will find yellow color logo and open with Google Slides. Move cursor over your first slide and then click on that open with Google Slides. Are you seeing that? Is it open in Google Slides? Google Classroom, have you opened? In Google Classroom, you have opened? Yes? Done? Then you can directly present also from there, or you can share a screen and then both the options are there. If you click that blue color square and the up arrow, then also, or share a screen and then come. Yes. Yes, now it is there. You can start now.
Okay, so I would like to start with the Prof by John Lilly, that he said that all is fair in love and war. And here in Macbeth, we can see that Macbeth, the character, protagonist, has done with all fair in ambitions, own ambitions. Slides is not moving. Next arrow I am doing. Okay. Open with Google Slides. Okay, now I put the main characters of the Macbeth. Macbeth, Lady Macbeth, Macduff, Three Witches, Malcolm, Banquo, and King Duncan, who has played a role to make dynamic the play. And this is the points I will discuss in my presentation. Banquo as a loyal person, less ambitious than Macbeth. Here, this point for the character of Banquo, painted with positive light, ghost scene of Banquo, how Banquo is foiled to Macbeth, and opposite personalities. Banquo as a loyal. Banquo for the King Duncan, we can see from this
very starting point of the play Macbeth, that Banquo and our protagonist Macbeth, they both are as important as to King Duncan. Here I mention the qualities of the Banquo: that kind, caring, loyal, trustworthy, brave, and noble general. I pointed out his character that not dynamic, though presence worthy. Um, we can say that his presence can make uh, consideration for his own character in play, then less ambitious than Macbeth. They both were as important, but this Banquo is less ambitious than the Macbeth. Uh, Macbeth is Banquo is Macbeth's best friend, and the witches promise him that he descendants. They both were met the three witches in a same platform, but how they react to the incident of three witches, that is very important in this play. Then Shakespeare painted with positive light. Uh, at the comparison of Banquo's character and the Macbeth character, we can say that Macbeth, he somewhere Shakespeare did the negative, or the we can say that negative perspective he had put for the Macbeth. It's the comparison of the character of Banquo. Shakespeare used to put the character like Banquo in his work to paint such kind of positivity against the protagonist. We will see in the next slide that how to foil the character of protagonist. Then the very important scene of the play, that ghost scene of Banquo. It is Banquo's ghost and not Duncan's that haunts Macbeth. In addition to embodying Macbeth's guilt for killing Banquo, the ghost also reminds Macbeth that he did not emulate Banquo's reaction to the witch's prophecies. As I told you that how they are react, they both were in a same platform, but how they are react very differently, that is considerable. How Banquo is a foil to Macbeth. This is the very important point to cover, that a foil's person in literature is to provide contrast and advance the protagonist character. As if Shakespeare wants to paint the Macbeth's character more ambitious, then he had to paint the Banquo's character like this, in a way that spurs the protagonist into action. In Shakespeare's Macbeth, Shakespeare shows how Banquo is a direct foil to Macbeth, and how Banquo's presence in the play also develop Macbeth's character. Throughout the play, Macbeth and Banquo characters are contrasted to many different occasions. For example, the witches' prophecies, as I told, and how they both react to them, their specific character traits, and lastly, the relationship and how to degrades throughout the play. Shakespeare presents these two characters as complete opposites, which gives the audience a chance to connect with Macbeth as his character advances through the plot and in a character. To make the Macbeth's character dynamic, he had to put this type of character, opposite personalities. We can see in the play that Macbeth and Banquo are the armies of the King Duncan, but very different personalities. According to some critics, Shakespeare tried to portray good and evil, the sides of the King Duncans, by his strength. Okay, this is my resource, and thank you. Yes.
My question is, give the name of Banquo's son.
Banquo's son's name is Fleance.
Hello, Emisha. I'm asking
Yes.
the question. You mentioned your presentations, Banquo is a loyal.
Yes.
If I question you, Banquo is loyal in Macbeth, yeah, King Duncan.
He was loyal to the both personalities. As Macbeth furtherly in the play that Macbeth murders the Banquo. They were the best friend. But Banquo didn't even thought to like that, have that Macbeth has done to him that. And to King Duncan, they both were loyal, but Macbeth has lost that his loyalty furtherly. Thank you.
Okay, so who is the next now?
Okay, so hello everyone. Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Himanshi Parmar. Good morning to all of you. And my subject is various themes in Macbeth. So let me share my screen first. Okay. Okay. My screen is not showing. Divya, can you help me please? What is showing? हाँ. Yes. हमारे PowerPoint में थे जी open.
What is the problem coming?
It is
Classroom, are you able to access?
Yes, sir.
મેં પહેલામાં અપલોડ કર્યું છે ને વન ડ્રાઈવમાં
ડ્રાઈવમાંથી
વન
કર્યું છે.
ડ્રાઈવમાં કર્યું છે
હા હા.
Sir, her PPT is uploaded in OneDrive. So it's not.
So no problem. It will open from there.
It's open in PowerPoint presentation.
So now start slideshow.
Okay.
At the top, are you seeing start slideshow?
Yes, sir. Okay. This one. Slideshow क्या आ गया?
Now it's
You,
visible.
no, this you have downloaded and not open from Google Classroom.
Just look.
This you have open it.
You open from Classroom. Is Classroom
PPT?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
You
sir.
open
You click on
from
that, the
Classroom.
link will open. So OneDrive.
Is Classroom open there? So you click on that, the link will open. It will show OneDrive.live.com in URL.
Yes, sir.
Are you seeing the URL?
There you will see start slideshow.
Yes,
There you
yes.
will see start slideshow.
Now.
Is it visible?
Is it visible?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, just a second. Just a second. It is in, it is in full screen?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So, my topic is the most important themes of the Macbeth. But before before talking about the various themes of the Macbeth, it must be needed to know about that what the meaning of theme in the literature. So let me. It is not. The slides are not changed.
Click next or the next arrow button you see, or mouse you use then.
Still not. It is not working. No. This one. Okay, okay.
You have to keep slideshow open. Yeah.
Okay. So let me define first that what is theme in literature, and then I move further for the um, various themes in Macbeth. So themes is something which is the central point or the idea of any subject or any message of work. And in another way, I can say that the main idea or the underlying meaning of any literary work which is explored by the writer, it is called theme in literature. Then there are the themes are divided. A theme is divided in two parts. The first is what reader think about the work and subject and concept, and the second one is what uh, work itself says about the subject. So in these two parts, the theme is divided, and then now let me give the example of themes in literature. There are so many themes used in literature like courage, faith, mother fatherhood, revenge, betrayal, and you can say war, pity, loneliness, aloneness, and so many themes are there. And to know about the themes, to find out the theme from the work, it is very important to firstly to know about the plot properly. If you understand the plot properly, you can easily find out the themes of any work. So now this is the brief information about themes in literature. Now let me begin with my point, that various themes in Macbeth. So the first theme I used is danger of ambition. Uh, the theme of ambition is very well portrayed in the play Macbeth. Uh, ambition of Macbeth, the ambition of Lady Macbeth. These things are very much clearly portrayed in this, and we can see that his ambition of Macbeth of being king, is lead him towards his tragic place. So the theme of ambition, we can say, is the center of the idea that why the Macbeth will meet the tragic end. So when Macbeth loses morality and started and morality and his ambition, unappropriate ambition, we can say that, because his ambition is not ambition to being ambitious is good, but how he fulfill his ambition by killing every someone and by uh, murdering king and his friend and everything. So he loses morality in such way to fulfill his ambition. And we can also find that he was not ambitious from starting. There are someone who boost his ambition. First is three witches who tell him that he will be the king one day, and he make a prophecy that he will be the king one day. So he this thing create ambition in his mind that no, I will be the king, and for being king, I will do everything to fulfill my ambition. So this is the thing. And the other another one is Lady Macbeth, who boosts his ambition, uh, like he questioning, constantly questioning on his man and courage, and so that the Macbeth started. So the Macbeth started. Uh, so the Macbeth.
Your mic is on.
Okay. So the Macbeth started killing everyone and doing everyone to show his power, to show that how able he is. And so this thing is there. And what we find in the result of this his lust of ambition is he was murdered by the Macduff at the end, and mid tragic end. This is the result of his ambition. And when we see the character of Lady Macbeth, she is also very ambitious, and she is also meet the tragic end, got insane, and then suicide herself. So this is the resulted here. And the another theme is theme of fat and free will. So um, the Shakespeare introduced the theme of fat, uh, and to aware Macbeth about his fat by the prophecy of three witches. That prophecy, three witches made prophecy that he will be the king of one day. So this prophecy were made by made aware Macbeth about his fate. And then he started believing that yes, I am able to achieve that position, and I will do whatever happens. And then he becomes self-centered person, like he just think about himself and his benefits, and kill everyone and do whatever he can, whatever as possible as think he wrong things he did to achieve that his goal. And instead of waiting for his fate, um, he started making actions. He started doing using his free will. And this thing, this here in this theme, we also find the theme of selfishness, that because of his own benefits he did so much wrong. The another thing is theme is the lack of loyalty. In the beginning of the play, we find that Macbeth is very loyal person. He won so many wars for the king to prove his loyalty. And then suddenly he turned to the most shifty person when King Duncan um, announced his son as his heir. So he started being jealous that I am the capable for this for that position, and why the King Duncan give someone else to that position. So here we find that he started the thing is that he started being disloyal towards towards King Duncan. And by the force of Lady Macbeth, he murdered king. And then also in another part we find out that theme of disloyalty is in Banquo's position, Banquo's incident, that Macbeth is also betrayed with Banquo. Even if his friend is very loyal to him, his friend is very good to him, he betrayed and ordered the murder for him. So here also. And we also found the disloyalty in other characters, like in the character of Macduff. We find that Macduff is not there is not clarity in any of the in the whole novel that he is the Caesarean born child. He told himself that I am the Caesarean child, but it is how much it is true or false, we don't know. So somehow he is also disloyal towards the other characters. And then the fourth theme is the theme of guilt. Um, he the This theme of guilt is we find in the last session of the last part of the play. So the King Macbeth and Lady Macbeth both feel this guilt of doing so much wrong things for his ambition and all these things, and they regret regret of he regret for killing King Duncan, or killing or ordering to kill Banquo, all these things, and this guilt lead them towards the hallucination, and uh, and they were suffering so much, and because of their suffering we find out that they are not cold blooded, they have emotions in their own. And we also find this thing that they are regretting and they are guilty in one dialogue of Lady Macbeth in Act 5, Act 5 Scene 1, that what done cannot be undone. That is the dialogue which is uh, portraying that she is guilty, and the both of them, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, both of them uh, meet at the end, meet to his tragic end, just because of and his guilt lead him towards tragic end. That we can find that when Lady Macbeth got insane, that he constantly think about his guilt, that she killed she killed so many peoples, and she is the responsible for all this, what is mass happen in this. So this thing lead him towards suicide, and also Macbeth is murdered by the Macduff at the end. And the last theme of is theme I used is supernatural beings in play. From starting to ending, we find that there are so many supernatural elements in this play. So the first we find is three witches. They are not human; they are supernaturals, and the main idea of them is to motivate Macbeth to achieve his ambition, or we can say that they they force him that you can be the king, you can be the king, you can be the king. So this thing is there, and um, other is and this thing is also created so many conflicts in the play. Also in another part we found that Banquo's ghost, and this is also some supernatural elements are there, play a role in this. And another one is witch, the dialogue of witch, that fair is full and foul is fair. That it means that a pretty thing is ugly, and ugly which is ugly it is pretty. So here we see that this sentence lead the whole play towards the bad vibes or towards the tragedy. So here is it is also play important role in the play. So here is my all the themes I mentioned. Thank you, and this is my references. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay, questions to her?
Yes, Himanshi, my question is, how you see fat and free will according to you, according to your point of view?
Fat and
Fat
free
and
will.
free will.
Okay, so according to my point of view, fat is something if it is in our it that will be written in our life, in our fat, then it will definitely come to us. We have no need to do so much bad things, or of course it is needed that we have to do some work for our for achieving our fat, but to harm someone or to do something wrong, that is not the way of achieving our fat. And free will is something that that is I'm not believing in the free will. Like, of course it is the point of view um that free will is something which is related to fat. Of course, that's all. Okay, someone else.
Hello, Himanshi. Ask the questions. What is the main theme in this play? And Macbeth was struggle in this theme?
Of course, the just a second. I'll unmute my mic. Okay. So the main theme I found is theme of guilt is very strong in this play, and also theme of ambition is. So it is very hard to tell that which is the main theme, but the theme of ambition and theme of guilt, these two themes I found very much main or major role in the play. But and also, yes, we can say that Macbeth was very much suffered in this theme of guilt, that at the end he was murdered, because he have no choice to go back and to improve what the mess they made. So he was also suffered a lot.
Hello everyone, good morning. I'm deal with the Shakespearean, the Macbeth, and in the symbol of the Macbeth. Now I am present of my presentation.
You have left. There. So in the mid page that is open, or you have closed that entire browser window? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Again, you are leaving the meeting. So what are you? Again, you have left. Keep things ready. I'm coming.
You can come as the audience. Hello, I am deal with the topic symbols in the Macbeth play. Nothing?
Is unmuted.
Let's brief introduction of the author. The born in Startford upon Avon, England, and baptized 26th April 1564 and died 23rd April 1616. And he was a playwright, poet, and actor. And he belonged to the era of Elizabethan and Jacobean. He was the most famous. And introduction of the play, the Macbeth written in the 1606. It is a tragedy that followed the rise and fall of Macbeth after three witches prophesied his futures and declared to Macbeth will become a king. There are a very present role. here the prophecy given, which is given the prophecy, you become the king. And after Macbeth was very ambitious, and he killed the current king. It means killed the Duncan, and after he killed his friend Banquo. And however, the Macbeth, in his blind desire to keep the throne, and makes several errors that lead to his desire and the rise of Banquo's son Malcolm. All are sins created only in ambitious is very be a powerful ambitious. The Macbeth here. Now I'm deal with the symbols in the Macbeth play. The first symbol is the blood. The blood is a very significant role present in the Macbeth. Macbeth blood symbolize a guilt. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth murder more people in pursuit of the throne, because his tree which is given the prophecy, you become the king. And after the Macbeth was very ambitious, and Lady Macbeth also forced to become a king. And after he murder the he murder King Duncan and become a pursuit of throne, and both are struggling with the inability to wash the blood from their hand. It means the crime in this blood. He pursuing of throne, and more peoples are murdered. The Macbeth, and I given the example in Act 2, Scene 2. Macbeth say, "Will all great Neptune ocean wash their blood clean from my hand? No, this my hand will rather." The multitudinous seas in carnadine, making the green one red. It means a Macbeth saying that not even all the water, it cannot wash anyway the blood. In fact, the use of the blood is so strong, and the small amount of his hand and will stand the ocean red. Not oceans can wash her blood in his hand. And Macbeth and his wife cannot fully wash the blood from their hand, and both are guilt about their crime. And another theme is the sleep. Sleep symbolizes the peace and innocence in the Macbeth. For example, Act 2, Scene 2, after murdering King Duncan in his sleep, Macbeth hear a voice said, Macbeth does murder sleep. It means he cannot destroy the Duncan's sleep, but he is also suffering for all lose his own sleep. And after the suffering from the Lady Macbeth, also the suffering from sleep, and he disturbed by the nightmare, and his wife Lady Macbeth suffer for sleepwalking, and she loses her peace and disturb his behavior. After Lady Macbeth was facing the madness, and after end of the for season, it means Lady Macbeth saying, "You love the season of all nature sleep." It means which means that his lack of sleep is denying the him madness. And another symbol is the weathers. The weathers, the lightning and thunderstorm awake at night, symbolize the corruption of the nature human order. The first opening scenes, weather and thunder, are a most important beginning of the play. The three which is the coming, and one which say, "When shall we meet again? In thunder or in the rain?" And second which replied that when the better lost of won. It means the weathers. The King Duncan's murder that time, the weather was very dark. And that time, the Duncan's murder and the night demonstrate a shift of moral and political structures. And after the king's death, and Macbeth was become the king, and Macbeth was changing the rules and regulations of that kind of political. And he is Macbeth also struggled the changes the political order. And I'm concluded the Ben Johnson's quotations to say the William Shakespeare. He was not of an age, but for all the time. It means he was not popular in this age, because the all everyone know that the whole time he's lived. And Macbeth is a very complex play, and symbols are sleep, bloods, and weather are symboling the event, plot, and themes is in this play, in the tragedy. And blood symbolize the guilt, sleep symbolize the innocence and peacefulness, and weathers represent the moral and political order through the Macbeth. And thank you. And this is my verse citations.
Yes, questions to her?
Yeah, but as you said, weather is as a symbol. Is weather played a role in contemporary play?
Yes, weather is a symbol in Macbeth. In the thunder. So sometimes you know that you say that bad sins, bad events was now happen, and that time you feel that the what is now I'm facing a bad, and you have nervous thing, and your weather is important in the side of the cloud is a very dark side, and sometimes the light that's important of the weather in this play. Yes, blood symbols, in my point of view, blood in your hand. Now, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth also suffering from the guilt, because he crime that he killed the Duncan, and his hand was blooded. It means you can crime, and that's labors, given that you will criminal in this way. And the blood in your hand, it means some crime your hand. That's sense.
Is yeah, this is Hirva, and then last one, Janvi. Okay. Now, so Dhruvita also is not presenting here, so don't give the mark to Dhruvita. Okay? I hope you are writing down marks of everybody. I will ask, where are your marks? Okay? So I hope you have noted down the rough draft also, and the final draft you will make once everybody's presentation is done.
Good morning, everyone. I deal with the topic metaphysical poetry. It's very well. It's very well explained by Mandel yourself, but I tried my best.
नेक्स्ट स्लाइड क्या देखो
Okay. Definition and meaning of a metaphysical poetry. Definition: a metaphysical poetry is highly intellectualized poetry marked by bold and ingenious contest, incongruous imagery, complexity, and subtlety of thought, frequent use of paradox, and often by deliberate harshness of rigidity of expression. Where is the concept about metaphysical poetry? First, literary critic and poet Samuel Johnson first coined the term metaphysical poetry in his book Lives of Most Eminent English Poets. In the book, Johnson wrote about a group of 17th century British poets and included John Donne, George Herbert, Richard Crashaw, Andrew Marvell, and Henry Vaughan. He noted how the poets shared many common characteristics, especially ones of a wit and elaborate style. Meaning of a metaphysical poetry. The word meta means after, so literal translation of metaphysical is after the physical. Basically, metaphysics deals with a question that can't be explained by science. It questions the nature of reality in philosophical way. How the metaphysical poets are different than the other poets. The metaphysical poets are different than the early poets because early poets take an example regarding their related field, when metaphysical poets were bring images which are not usually connected. Example, in a flea poem, the flea is compared with a love which is not usually connected. They try to be intellectual than the other poets. Religion is not only theme of a metaphysical poets. General characteristics of metaphysical poetry: no music, no rhythm. There in metaphysical poetry there is no music and no rhythm at all. Use of far-fetched image. Far-fetched image means they were not connected usually. The images they were not connected usually. Conscious attempt, intellectual level, highly physical, easy trial of finger but fail in listening. Means they were easy in reading, but when we listen to metaphysical poetry, we don't understand the meaning of poetry. That is my answer. Thank you. Yes.
Define metaphysical poetry according to your view.
Metaphysical poetry. uh, the metaphysical poetry is not deals with only religion. The metaphysical means we are I understand the metaphysical means the only it connected with religion, but R.K. Mandalya sir says is that metaphysical means not connected with religion at all. It's not deals with religion. It is highly physical than the religion.
What is the main?
You mute now. When they are asking, you mute.
What is the main feature of metaphysical poetry?
Metaphysical poetry's main feature is far-fetched images. Yes. They were the what? Repeat the question, please.
What is the main feature of
Metaphysical poetry. They were bring the images. They were not usually connected. Its main far-fetched images they were done. They were.
You have not stopped presenting.
Yes, yes, sir. Stop.
प्रश्न सर्व है कि जो याद करती रहती हो आप देखो એટલે ચેકલિસ્ટ લખવાનું કઈ ચેકલિસ્ટ હોય તો So last presentation of this session, Janvi. This Hinaba, you have to keep this flap camera properly. Still, it is going up in the sky. So, little bit down. Check your focus. So when you sit before a camera, check a focus. Are you exactly in the center? How things are there? Yeah? Slightly down still. Yeah. See the upper line, upper focus line that you see in the screen. You can pin up and then also you can see. Pin up yourself and see how the camera is capturing you. Slightly down still you can take. There is an upper space of a fan that is not required in the focus. Okay. Yeah, that is okay. Yeah. Keep on looking yourself in the, I think in 5 days you will get a good training to sit and face camera properly. Yes.
It starts.
Yes, you can start. Yeah.
Divya.
Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is Absalom and Achitophel. John Dryden. John Dryden was born in 9 August 1631, United Kingdom. John Dryden was an poet, literary critic, translation, and playwright who was appointed in England, the first poet in 1668. His scenes in dominating the literary life and restoration England such a point that the pride came to best known literally is the age of Dryden. Died is 12 May 7, London, United Kingdom. Dryden, the poet, is the best known today the satiric, although he wrote only two great original satires, the Macbeth and the Medal. He is the most famous poem Absalom and Achitophel, poem and the survival brilliant satiric. His unlike the satire is to come to a final tragic revelation. Absalom and Achitophel's theme. John Dryden was a brilliant satiric in the neoclassical period. Is the Absalom and Achitophel is regarded as the not simple a satire, but is Dryden himself called it the poem, the central theme. Temptator sins fell and passion, punishment. Absalom and Achitophel characters. John Dryden's is the poem is the many characters major and minor character is the main two characters Absalom and Achitophel. The poems the king of the David, Shulz, David's brother Korah, Shimi, the Fora, Izobed, Jens, Blary's eldest son John, Enimir. Minor characters the Blim, Clam, Nebd, Zogd, Zangs of Jerusalem, Adiel, Uzi, Anan, David's wife, and Eniable. The Korah is a rebellion against the Mos. The second is the Blaris is lived beyond the Zedron's river and the suit of the David during the Absalom as the rebellion. The David's frame was credits at the act of the comment into the failures Zedron. The siege of the Jerusalem is represent the bishop of the London. Adiel was the son of Barius. Here is the stand for the John Staffier. Zothan, the stand of the Gregory's Slavid. Slavid is the Marcus of Helias and the nephew of Steph Barriers. But Yushi is the David is the friends represent Levians hides early of Rotter Charles second first Lord the first Lord the Emmy the travel was the though the Valiants to bring David suppose the character of the King David. King David is Charles I is and the third king of the Israel is the represented the Charles II of the England. David is the king. The many mysteries are there, and the many children and son. The favorite son is the Absalom, but he is not royal blood. Is the Absalom's character. David's illegitimate son and the protagonist of the Absaloms and the Achitophel. David's favorite child, Absalom, and Absalom is the hand some ambitions. He had was himself a hero at war. Absalom agreed to rebel against David, and he is traveled to Israel in processions with Achitophel. Uh, Absalom is against war his father David, but not against his father. His his Achitophel is agree with his father war against. David his exercises him power as a king before the people of Israel and effectively set down the Absalom his rebellion. The Dryden never does say what became of Absalom. Though the character of Absalom Dryden unintently argue with the Charles and his brother James, both have a divine right the throne. He is not accent he is a mothwet. Dryden argues though Absalom that Mousemouth plays the power specifically his attempt to seize as the position of power that rightfully belongs to another, he is a sin against God. Dryden does not entirely de-excuse Absalom's ambitions, but he does argue with suffering that throne is completely unfaithfully. And Achitophel character. In the second main point, the character Achitophel, the despiteful counselor is the King David and the antagonist of the Absalom and Achitophel of the old man who oppose the David within the government. Achitophel is the most influential. Achitophel is the smart, ambition, and moral, flexible character in the Dryden poem. He pretended to be David's friends, but completely destroy it. He encouraged David's son Amsler to rebel to against him, and he is the king of the Israel. Achitophel heads the David's brother here. Preventive and Achitophel is bring to his plan on David by claiming David his jubits and while the knows that his argument of weak and as long he is against David his David his son is not a good king and jealous etc. However, Achitophel mistaken David's mercury and mild temperature for a sign of weakness. And when David finally lose his patience, Achitophel is reminded of the David's divine power. Dryden's Achitophel, member of the Antiochian Ashtley Coppers, the first early of Staffberry, a member of parliament during Dryden's time. Achitophel, main supporter of the exiliation V. Though Achitophel Dryden suggests the Charles and James both have the just claim to throne, and he is not for a Staffberry movement or parliament to inferring on that power. Thank you.
Janvi, my question is who does Absalom represent in Absalom and Achitophel?
Uh, in Absalom is a character of Absalom and Achitophel poem. Absalom is metaphysically represented Charles II, illegitimate son James Ford, first and of mountain is written.
Yes, Dhvani, which is Bride and Bride's satire. If you study in syllabus, give you a name of satire.
In our syllabus, satire. Absalom and Achitophel. Thank you.
Okay, so first let me give a brief feedback from here. You can keep on looking at the screen. I will share something, and then I will come there and give a few more points about the feedback, which you can improve on in our tomorrow's presentation. In one of the presentations, I think it was by Bhavna was making a presentation, and it is good to see that many of you are bringing good images and working well on the slides also. Some of you are not working on the slides, so you are just typing few words and presenting small fonts, but some of you are doing good work on preparing a better slide. So I hope those who are not using good of image and the text, then you should try that. Try to make your PPT with a good combination of appropriate image and the text, which also should be of a good size of font, and that all you have to take care of. In this, like for example, let us see this one here that I think it was in Bhavna's presentation. Yeah, so Mistress, and this image was used here. It is coming up. Let's wait for time. Yeah, I think now it is displayed. Yeah, on all the three screens. Yes, you can see this image was used. Now, so when you are selecting an image, appropriate image for your poem, then, for example, if you get this image, and then again look at this image, so then you will find that if you see the tone of the poem, then this image is not appropriate to that tone. Better than this, there is a horse, woman is riding a horse, the man is standing besides, and if you see this image, then you see that coyness, the shyness, and that also. So that way you see what is the tone, and in that your selection also used there. So this is one point when you look for your images and other things. Then when you make your title where in on a larger font, the title of your presentation is given. And that is enough. Like if you want to just put a name also there, your name and the title of the presentation, only that you put in first slide. In second slide, give all the detailed information. Because when you will upload your PPT on SlideShare, the first slide will be visible to everybody. First slide. So first slide, you will find that in previous years, most of the students have used first slide where students' information is given. Now we are asking you to do something else. And that is in first slide, use title. If you want to put an image appropriate to the title, use that, or cover page of the book if you want to use that, you can use, but half screen image in half screen title. And if you want to add your name, you can add your name also. Add your name, and you can say Department of English, MK Bhavna University, or Maharaja Krishna Kumar Singh ji. That much is enough. There no other detail is required. That you can. In the second slide, give all the details, wherein you write your email ID, semester 1, your roll number, your paper title, full title of the paper, full number of the paper, code of the paper, code also. So yesterday, I think Yes, yesterday I shared one of those banners, banners of all the papers. Have you received it? In email I shared banners of all the days. Were you able to see that? Or because it was in email, you might not have seen. Let me share this. So, and let me, by that way we can check also whether. Yes, this banner, and for each and every day, both the slots. So I think 10 banners are shared. So one is for morning and then the afternoon slot. Now here you will get code, paper number, all other information that is required. Yes, date and everything. So that all you have to put in second slide. Second slide, date on which you are presenting, full name of department, full name of university, and this. If you want to use this banner in one of the slides, that also you can do. In one of the slides, you can put this, and then your topic can also come there. So your PG registration number, I still am not able to see in any of the slides. Your PG registration number, have you all received it now? Yes, it is in your on your iCard also now. I hope everybody has got the iCard. Anybody still without iCard? Here, anybody still without iCard sitting here? Everybody got the iCard? Otherwise, collect it from the clerk's office. Yes, collect it from the clerk, and if possible, wear the iCard when you make a presentation. That also will be good. So this will give you code, code and paper title when you have to write on your second slide, which you will be sharing there. So that you have to do. So first topic, and then this slide with all these details you are mentioning there. Okay? Okay, let me come there and give the other feedback. So when you come and stand here, yes, you also have to see that how you are looking on this frame, and this slide you have to adjust. This top part, if you are not fully visible, then that you can adjust. So you are properly focused. So that also start. I know you will be nervous, and you have to do lot many other things, but this also is a part of the game. That this all you have to see that you are properly focused. If I don't think anybody requires the height, otherwise you can use that to stand up also, and slightly focus and see that you are properly visible when you are doing that, and your sound is going from that. So that also you have to adjust. If need be, we can still move this also slightly. Okay. Time and again you can see in camera also, you can see at the audience also, and time and again have a look at the camera also, because when you will see the video recording, what you see in camera will be like the watchers, viewers are may think that you are talking with them when you see, but you can see the other people also. Just read. Many of you are just reading only the slides, but it is fine. It is first day, first season, so acceptable. But subsequently, you have to come out from the reading habit. You have to constantly have eye contact with audience or with camera. And this slides is just, you know what is on the slide. So you are not supposed to read the slides, except there is a quote. And you want to read word by word quote, then you can read for a while. Okay, so Aamena presented well. Yes, death be not proud. A good image and other things were also given, so it was well presented one. Okay. Bhavna presented on Andrew Marvell, and there were few errors of spelling also on the slide. Image we have talked also, so still need to improve. Yes, Bhavna. Yes. So do some rehearsal. Read your things, make record your voice when you read. Mobile ચાલુ રાખો બાજુમાં, એમાં record કરતા જાઓ. બને તો વિડિયો જ રેકોર્ડ કરો. તમે પીપીટી પ્લે કરતા હો એ પ્રકારે વિડિયો અથવા ઓડિયો, and listen yourself that how you are doing, so that will help you in improving. Dhvani did well, well presented. And the slides were also well prepared. Yes, even questions also, we have seen some very good questions, some not very good questions. Some questions like, so if you ask only date, somebody was asking that in which date this is published. Now that you can also see in Google. Why are you asking? So based on the presentation, something that when you ask a question, there should be a curiosity to know something. That is prime thing. But maybe you are not curious to know anything, but still ask something which adds value to what is presented. What is presented, not something that is not presented at all. જે વક્તા જેની વાત જ નથી કરતા એ પ્રશ્ન પૂછવાનો કોઈ મતલબ નથી. જે પ્રેઝન્ટ કરે તેમાંથી એને લગતું પૂછવાનું છે. That. So locate your question properly. So that also is judged. Are you able to put a proper question or not? That also speaks about your how well you are listening. What is your ability to raise question? That also is very important. So see that, don't ask just simple factual questions. What is the, somebody was asking what is the name of the son of that character. Now that is not a question at all. એ કોઈ પ્રશ્ન જ ન કહેવાય. તો કઈ સાલમાં પબ્લિશ થયું એને પ્રશ્ન ન કહેવાય. એમાં તો everybody knows કે એમાં શું હોય પૂછવાનું. Okay, and you are not testing. તમે પછી કોઈ પરીક્ષા નથી કરતા કોઈની કે આને હું બરાબર પરીક્ષા કરી લઉં, એમ પણ નહીં. So it is not કે એ જવાબ પણ આપી શકે, થોડું સમજાવી શકે, એમણે બોલ્યા એમાંથી જ હોય. That way you have to ask a question. Okay, then Divya also did well. Divya Parmar, yes, good topic was taken about prostitution in Aphra, Behn's this, and good points were discussed. Divya Sheta also selected a good topic about theocracy, and that also was well presented, and also good questions were answered also very well. Emisha also presented well the topic that she has taken, on Macbeth. Yes, in that Hirel asked a good question, that whether the character is loyal or how do you see the loyalty. So that was also a good question. Hinaba asked, no? Achha, okay, that was a good question. Yeah. Himanshi also prepared well and presented well themes, and it was good that in one slide she was putting that what is theme. So you start from the beginning. Whatever topic you take, you basically question what is this. So that concept clarity, you go to dictionary to find the meaning, and then you move on in that topic. So that also is a good way of entering into your topic. Okay, then Hinaba, yeah, good slides were there, good quotes were used. That is good. You used some quotes also in that. That was a good point. And but fonts were very small. Still make larger font and fill up the entire slide. Slide ne bow empty space nahi rakhwani, and make it larger to fill it. A good use of quotes was found in her present. That also everybody can see when you bring quotes from the original text. Hirva also metaphysical poetry presented very well, and slide those common errors which are there, which you can also work on that. Janvi also, like Bhavna, needs to do some rehearsal. Some simple words are not pronounced properly, argue or Achitophel. So that error should not be there. Difficult word, and if you're not able to pronounce it, is fine. But simple words, you see, but do some rehearsal, and that will help you to improve the things also. Okay, so and good, dress up yourself professionally also. So it was good to see a couple of you are dressing up yourself. Don't look like Einstein's વૈજ્ઞાનિક જેવું ભાભા છાપ થઈને આવીએ, એના કરતા થોડા grooming કરી, and you are facing a camera, so you can be happy to show your video to somebody also. એવા presentable હોઈએ કે આપણે કોઈને વિડિયો બતાવી શકીએ. તો be presentable. એટલો બધો એમ નહીં કે ઘણો બધો મેકઅપ કરીને આવીએ, ઘણી બધી લિપસ્ટિક ને એવું બધું લગાડીને આવીએ કે એમાં એટલો સમય આપણે કે આપણે પીપીટીમાં કાંઈ કામ ન કર્યું હોય તેવું લાગે. આપણે ઉપર જ કામ કર્યું છે. but slightly grooming you can do when you face a camera or when you make a presentation. So if possible, you can dress up professionally, that will be good, or decent dressing you can do. Check your recordings. Tonight, once the recording will be uploaded, I will share a link. So don't forget to see how you have done when you are asking a question or when you are presenting. So you, in your own way, you can slightly improve on what you are doing, facing, speaking, sharing the screen, all that. Self-learning is the best one. So every day, watch your own part of that video and keep on improving over that also. I will ask you at what time you are coming in that video, because I have to put a chapterization in the video. એટલે તમારે એક શીટમાં એ ટાઈમ લખવાનો થશે. આજે સાંજે વિડીયો આવશે ત્યારે જોઈ અને exactly at which time. So it is 1 hour 11 minute 10 second, then 10 second only exact when you begin to speak. So I will chapterize. So next time when somebody will click on that moment, your video will start playing. So that you have to do very quickly. આજે સાંજે એ લિંક આવે એટલે તાત્કાલિક, as soon as you see that, you find where you are and at which time. That exact time I want. 3 hour 00. If there is no hour, 00 colon, you have to put colon, then minute, colon, and second. So 6 digits you have to write. 00 colon 00 colon 00. In that way, hour, minute, and second should be written. So it is easy for me. I just have to copy paste and I can easily prepare that chapterization in the video also. Okay, so with this, we are ending this first session. Very quickly, we are starting the second. So the another student can start coming here, and we will start within 5 minutes, the another slot. Okay? So right now, we are ending this session here. Okay? Let everything